What's up, everybody, and welcome to the SaveState. My name is Landon. I've got Dirk and Seth here, and today we're going to talk to you about Star Wars. But not necessarily just a Star Wars trailer breakdown or what's happening in the Star Wars world, but just our opinions on
Star Wars.
What does your heart tell you?
3 years ago yesterday, I tweeted about hearing about Disney buying the Star Wars franchise. And in that tweet, I said, I don't want to live on this planet anymore. And then the follow-up tweet was a link to the Star Wars festival that they do at Disney every year with dancing Chewbacca. And a slash Ewok.
which, by all accounts, pretty fucking cool.
It's
still better than the Christmas special.
So it was surely based on Twitter blowing up about the news about Star Wars getting bought, but that was circulating around that time. And
so you were super against Disney.
I was initially. My initial reaction was just like, well, it was already bad. Now what's going to happen? But this was also 3 years ago. I mean, this was before a lot of really cool Disney stuff had happened with a lot of the Marvel stuff and things like that going on.
Well,
so
we were working together at the time, and I remember when that happened. You were against. I was all for it.
Yeah,
I was on the opposite side of it because I had seen what Disney had been doing through some of the other properties. I was a little bit more into the superhero scene than you necessarily were. So I had a little bit of faith through the Marvel experience. I also had a little bit of faith through the video game experience with what Disney sometimes does with some of their video games. And they've continued that trend to this day. And I think Disney, especially now, it's kind of confirmed, but Disney does a pretty decent job sometimes, and maybe the majority of the time, with buying this franchise and letting the people who actually love the franchise run with it, and they're just going to take the money. That's
like the most well-said, eloquent "I told you so" that I've ever heard anyone give.
Sorry. Dirk, where were you at when Disney bought it? Were you maybe in
I was probably in the same camp as you. I had followed Marvel pretty closely, and I would saw what they were doing with the franchise and where it was going. So, honestly, I think Disney buying it was really the only positive direction it could have went with where it was at the time. I don't think there's any other company that could have bought it, or if George Lucas decided to boot it back up, I don't think it'd be going in the direction it's going. I think this is the best possible course.
I also found what was interesting. I'm trying to remember now because this is just through memory. When George Lucas, they bought it for a shitload of money,
$4 billion plus.
It was insane, and a lot of that went to Lucas himself.
Half of that cash
and
went
and then the majority, if not all of that money, I think went to George Lucas and a education system.
Yeah, I think he donated to charity, correct?
Yeah, well, he created a new education program charity thing, right?
Okay.
And it was something like Oasis or something like that. I can't remember, but I remember him doing something extremely good with it because I was like, what does he need all that money for?
Right.
Oh, cool, he's doing something excellent with it.
Right. Another thing that came through with the transaction that I didn't realize at the time, but they also got Industrial Light and Magic and Skywalker Sound out of the deal. Yeah. And so I think it's important to note that, okay, they've gone and done this. We're at a point now where J.J. Abrams has basically said that's the last trailer. Well, he said all the right things for sure, but he's also said this is the last trailer. There's absolutely some really interesting storylines that are apparent just by missing characters from the posters and things like that.
People keep asking about Luke. Where's Luke?
Yeah. And J.J. is, I mean, aside from making fun of his overuse of lens flares, is a pretty well-respected director.
He doesn't make flops, basically.
So all of that to say that, 3 years ago, there was, you guys may have been on the right page from the get-go, but I wasn't alone in the sense that Disney buying it was a terrifying prospect.
Well, that's also the internet.
That's true. And it looks really compelling.
Please like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah. I'm really excited about it, and I think we owe it to JJ to give him some credit here and to go see it again. I mean, I did go back. I did go back and watch the episode 1 trailer, and there were a lot of hints that it was not going to be a cool movie in that trailer.
Well, that had when episode 1 came out, there was a different level of hype
Yeah.
That came out. The hype was, holy crap, we haven't had Star Wars in a long time. Like between Episode 3 and when Episode 7 releases, that's less than a decade. Right?
Yeah.
So there was a lot more than that between
that's true.
Episode 1 and Episode 6.
Yeah.
Right? So
I think a lot more of the hype right now is like, oh my goodness, this looks amazing. I hope it doesn't suck.
Right.
As opposed
Yeah.
to
It's a
back in
different-
the day, this is going to be amazing. There's no way it can suck. Let's
Right.
do this.
Right.
You know
That's
what I
a
mean?
good point.
It's a totally different level of hype. A hype that this is probably going to, I went to the Phantom Menace opening premiere. That was I was a lot younger, so I didn't really know exactly what I was getting myself into, but it was a cool, unique experience of being there. I won't talk about the movie, but the experience of what that was like with everybody that's a huge into Star Wars, going to the movie theater. It was insane. That was the heyday of like the midnight premieres and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I got into all the Marvel movies and the Batman movies and stuff, all those midnight premieres. So I'm really, really excited to go see Episode 7, the opening premiere for that in IMAX. It's going to be a really cool, unique nerd experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be bigger than even, Avengers 2 midnight premiere was huge.
Yeah.
It was bigger than the premieres that I had went to with the Batman movies, and those are the ones I really, really cared about. Like, the line was insane when we went there. I can only imagine the line and the experience it's going to be like with Episode 7.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're all really looking forward to it, obviously. Do you guys think that there is a way, with what we know now, that it could be less than awesome?
Yes, absolutely.
What do you think that would be?
Well, if they ruin your characters, you're playing. If JJ had made a movie that didn't include Luke, Leia, Han, and maybe they were just referenced, then I think that would be playing it safe in terms of not pissing off the fans, but also not playing it safe in terms of getting fans to go and watch the movie. Like, including those three and playing that hype up, you've got so many more people in the media and everybody's so jazzed and excited about going and watching this.
True.
But with them actually being in this movie, the actual actors, their characters, their portrayals, and it might even be not even on JJ, it might even be on their performances.
Yeah.
We know that Harrison Ford's still been continuously acting. Yeah. We don't see big main picture lines with Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill.
Yeah,
Mark Hamill's been doing indie stuff. He does a lot of voice acting. So if these actors maybe they're not up to par,
I think Carrie Fisher's what I'm worried about the most.
Yeah,
because
so there's
kind of crazy there for a while.
Yeah, she did.
Mm-hmm. So there's their portrayals, and then there's also what storylines they're going to use with them.
Right.
Some people, there's rumors that Luke might be evil Luke in this. Like, what's that going to do to the fan base? Is that going to be a good thing, or is that going to be a bad thing? And it depends on how they handle that.
Right.
So my main concern comes along with the original characters.
Yeah. Now, Harrison Ford did say that there's no way that we'll be disappointed in this movie. Now, on the flip side, Harrison Ford hit his head pretty hard, like a few months ago.
And his leg.
And his leg.
And his plane.
So
his plane.
So we'll see how it goes. But on the other hand, Harrison Ford is a notoriously picky actor, and is very...
Crystal Skull?
It was
okay.
It was Indiana Jones.
All right then.
Like, I get okay. So you know what? You have a fair point. They could, if they get into a refrigerator, right as the Death Star is gonna blow up, we know.
Maybe that'll be the new, because in what was it, Transformers? In one of the, was it Transformers or was it Star Trek? When they're flying through space and then you saw R2-D2 in the Rebel, right?
Yeah.
So what if in this one, as they're flying through the space, you see a refrigerator in the Rebel?
Yeah, that'd be good.
So what's your,
I think what I'm worried about the most is the villain being lame. I'm not convinced so far. The lightsaber looks cool, but what we've seen from the trailer, basically he just wants to carry on what Darth Vader was doing, even though Darth Vader, stopped doing that at the end. But we don't talk. Apparently, we just don't talk about.
Well, they wouldn't know it.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
He just died.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just really worried the villain's not going to be that cool. Not as cool as Darth Vader, and not cool enough to carry on 3 movies.
I have one interesting point to that. In the trailers, there's very little, they give away very little of the movie. But if you notice just the way Kylo Ren carries his lightsaber, it's very aggressive.
Yeah.
And that kind of hints to me that he's going to be, like, just a hard villain. Like,
it seems like they're even introducing new dark force, or evil force powers, too. So with him, like, and his hand
stuff from the game.
So it could be a thing. I mean, I kind of feel like JJ's got a history of making stuff that can be pretty dark.
That being
too,
said,
so.
I'm interested to see Captain Phasma's story because we don't know anything about that character.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're not dropping anything. Like, you've seen her in armor, and that's
all we
it.
know is
Will she
she
be the
wears
new Boba
silver
Fett?
and she's hunting Jedi. That's all we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do we have anticipation that she's going to be the new Boba Fett?
That'd be cool.
Type
I hope
character,
so.
like hype wise and everything. So
That'd be cool.
I hope so.
Is there anything more? Oh, sorry.
What I'm most excited about is if this trilogy does well, which I'm pretty sure it's going to, the spin-off movies.
Yeah.
I'm more
That's
excited
some
about that than almost anything because
I'm concerned with them though.
you have a right to be. It sounds interesting. Was it, like, I think it's called, what is it called? Rogue One?
Rogue One.
Yeah, and it's about the Imperial or the rebels that steal the plans from the Death Star that are referenced in the first movie. That could be really cool.
Yeah, the ideas behind it.
Boba Fett getting his own movie could be really, really cool.
Yeah.
But it could be really stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went and read an old press release, and it was saying that, they're going to do episodes 7, 8, 9, and then 2 to 3, a movie every 2 to 3 years after that, and with, like, really no stop date in mind.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're going to get an inundation of Star Wars from here on in. It should be really interesting. So
Yeah, so hopefully it continues. And the other problem with some of that stuff, too, is we're switching out directors constantly, too.
Yeah, that's concerning.
So is that going to keep the same feel? Is everything going to be different? But at the same time, if you look at what they've done with Marvel,
I was gonna say
that you're changing, directors. Like James Gunn with Guardians of the Galaxy has a totally different feel than an Iron Man movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yet it all goes together into a universe, and it's awesome. So we're probably going to see that. We'll see how it goes. I'm super excited about Episode 7 coming in December.
It's gonna be great.
I've got my tickets. I'm ready to go see it. Any last remarks from you guys on this? Just excited? Concerned?
John Williams is killing
He's
it with
back,
the music. Really killing it. I'm really excited to hear the new stuff that they've done with that. But
All right, so let us know in the comments below, what do you think would make Episode 7 suck? What could ruin it for you? And then on the flip side, why are you super excited about this? Let us know in the comments below. If you want to keep this conversation going, head over to thesavestate.com. If you want to hit us up on Twitter, we are at @the_SaveState. Thanks, guys, for sitting down with me on this. Thanks, everybody, for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
What if Han Solo is like some really old fat guy and they just find him like sitting in his room watching TV?
Time travel, and he becomes Jabba the Hutt. Like, that's
Oh
what
my
happens.
god! Like Face of Bo from Doctor Who,
exactly.
like straight up.
Yeah.
How amazing would that be? That would make it suck.
Not amazing, but it would make it suck.
Thanks for watching this video. If you want to hear more from us, please check out our audio-only podcast, Random Encounter. You can find that on thesavestate.com. Random Encounter dives very deep into gaming culture and the games we've been playing, and gets kind of into gaming a little bit deeper than usual. It's an hour-long podcast. We have a lot to talk about. Please join us there.